All right, Shabbat Shalom, everybody. So, Nakwai Yesharaya here. I want to finish off the first part I was leaving off with basic biblical polygyny. I want to finish it and talk about the Timothy. All right. I did do it right away. Uh, this is the same Shabbat. I just decided to do it. Try to find a quiet space to do this because it's very important for investigation work for the murder of Joey Morgan. So I do need like kind of like some quietness, and so I found a more quiet spot. Hopefully it stays that way through the whole video. Um, but let's get into it. All right, so uh, First Timothy, chapter 3. All right, and we're gonna talk about the bishop, and the bishop, verse 2. A bishop then must be blameless, the husband of one wife. All right, so what is that really saying? Is it saying one wife? But I'm telling you that actually, according to the Torah, the Hebrew, it's at least one wife, the husband of at least one wife. All right, because that's the understanding in the Hebrew culture, not the American culture. So those who were translating this might have mistranslated, misunderstood it. Septuagint, Roman Vulgate, Greco-Romans, Greek scribes scribed it with a wrong mindset. So it might have got misunderstood or retranslated. They might have understood it, got to retranslate it wrong or something. All right, so that's the thing about new translations, man. It misses the point. Adding and taking away, you miss the point, the main key points. So let's go into it. All right, so what I found out was that there is no word for bishop. Bishop is a proper noun. All right, because it's bishop. There's nothing else, that really describes a bishop in the world. The bishop, everybody understands a bishop to be, of course, something in the game of chess, but church, bishop. Okay, that's the capital B should be there, bishop. Or you could say bishop so and so, whatever the case, PhD, doctor this, doctor that. That's understandable. Or you could just say, I'll just leave it like that. But there are three different words for bishop. I have four different versions of the Hebrew New Testament, or the Brit Hadashah. And those four different translations, one word came up twice, and then there were two other words. So out of all four, the word that came up the most was H1571, which is gam, or in the proper context, gamun or gamon. I say gamwan. All right, so that means to gather, but there is no word in the Old Testament or the Barith for bishop. So you can't find that word as a proper noun or something like that. It's nowhere there. But it is a word, as in like a noun. Like deliverer. And that's Moses' name. Moshe means deliverer. One who delivers. And the root to you got to find the root word of his name to understand what his name meant. So it's something like that. So that's how I found it. So bishop, in that sense, H1571 comes from the root word gam. But in the Hebrew New Testament, two of the versions I have, it says gamun, which is one of the versions on here, but I don't have the internet or the Wi-Fi to go into that. It does not take me there. See, it just freezes up for some reason, and I can't go to it. So I need the internet to change the version. So I'm staying in the English, and I'll just give you need a pen and paper, and you need to write down, take notes if that's your interest, to get the answers to this. All right, so H stands for Hebrew in the Hebrew lexicon. A Hebrew lexicon, if you don't know, is it's a transliteration and a definition book. So it takes another language with the characters of that other language, and tell you what the word transliterates as phonetically, and translates as in what it means, and it gives you the English of that. All right, so that's the Hebrew lexicon. And so it starts when you look for the word that you're looking for. You're looking for the H, which is the Hebrew side, and then you have a G, which is the Greek side. So you're looking for H 1571. All right, and that word is gam. That's the root word for bishop. So because it's a bishop, it's a proper noun or a noun. Um, it's has infixes, so the word would be gamwan. So it's gam, but gamwan or gamon was to say a gatherer. That's what a bishop is, a gatherer. That's the occupation of a bishop. So your office is someone that gathers. But what kind of gatherer? Like, what are the other parts of being a gatherer? So you get more definitions. Uh, so one of the other versions, it's giving me Rosh or Ra'ash, all right, which is H7218. Rosh or Ra'ash, all right, like Roach, but Rosh with a SH, or Ra'ash, which means a leader or a captain. All right, it's not really giving you anything really. So a leader or a captain is someone that gathers the people together. But more specifically, one of the versions that I have also was giving me manhig, manhig or nahag. So manhig doesn't exist. Rosh does exist in the Brit, the Old Testament as you call it, but the Brit, you can find that there. Manhig does not exist, and gamwan or gamon does not exist. So you have to find the root words of these words. And so that is, it lets you know that these are not original, this is not an original thing that people understood throughout the whole Hebrew history. It was never something that people were. These are just offices, not officers, offices. And it's not that you're replacing the people who are the Rabim and things like that. These are just extra offices and stuff like that, extra positions that you could have. Or just original positions that always was there, but you're not a Cohen or something like that. It could be just, I'm not going to go into too deep into it, but it's going to be H5090. And that is manhig or nahag, which means to shine, to drive, or to lead. All right, to shine. There's two ways that we understand that. You're shining, meaning your light, your holiness, and people want to follow your example, or you're just shining on people, you know, or driving people. We get two ways of that too. You're driving people crazy, or okay, you're driving peacefully, gracefully. Okay, so you're keeping people at peace, and you're keeping the lights on so people can understand that they're safe and protected, and you're leading people the right way. You know, blind lead the blind type stuff. But if you're not that, you are the proper way of that. Manhig. The root word is nahag. Okay, nahag, and that is one that gives a better understanding of what a gatherer is, and as you call a bishop, what a gatherer is, and what he does. So that's the first thing I wanted to bring out. There's no such thing as bishop as in to say phonetically. You don't find that anywhere. There's no lexicon number. There's no Hebrew term that gives you that really. But in the Brit Hadasha, it's understood as these things. So if I were to choose one, the occupation is what you choose, what the office is. So what is the occupation, your office? Gamwan or gamon. Nothing sounds nothing like a bishop. So this is some Christian stuff, some Roman stuff. They interjected some stuff in our stuff, like Easter that doesn't exist. It's Pesach. So interjecting things messed us up, and that's what it's saying. So a gamun or a gamwan is a bishop, or a one. Sorry, a gamun then must be blameless, the husband of one wife. Now let's get to that part. Now the part where it says the husband of one wife, which is I'm wishing I had my Wi-Fi so I can go into the Hebrew with it so you can see it with your eyeballs. But it's saying that whole, after that comma there, blameless, that whole statement there is Baal Asha Nachath. That's what that's all it says. Baal Asha Nachath. Or some say Baal Isha Nachath. I'm sorry, Achath. Baal Isha Achath. All right, that's all it says. They don't say the husband of one wife. It says Baal Isha Achath. Now I gotta keep saying it. Gotta keep saying it. But the word we're looking for specifically is one. So that would be Achath. All right, H259. All right, H259. So the husband of one is Achath. So when you go to H259, it's understood as maybe I got it on. Give me a second. Do I have it? I don't have it. I got it on my other phone. Let me go to my other phone and read it. It's understood as one. but not one as an individual person. It can be an individual person, but it's always understood that you are with someone. It's never understood that you are just an individual. It's just you. It can start off as just you. So like a gamun then must be blameless, the husband of at least one wife. Because of the definition, it's better to translate it at least one wife. All right, so let's go to it. It's going to be uh, what did I say, H259. All right, one, and that's going to be 259. 259. That's going to be, all right, Akhad. All right, so H259 is the same Akhad for Akhad. Even though you may see Akhad in the Brit Kharash or here in this context, it's always Akhad with a thaw at the end. It's still H259. And when you look it up, it's going to be like, huh? This isn't the word. It's Akhad. But it's, so when you go into Akhad, it means one, like in number, the number one. But it also means first. As I say, not just one person, you're the only one. You could just be the first, like the first begotten. You say the only begotten son, but it could just be he's the first begotten, because you have 144,000 sons of the Most High. It's just that the one that died on the cross was the Savior. He was the first, all right? And he was the one that came into the world without spot. They are the same flock, okay? These sheep are the same flock. Some are just spotted. The Savior was not spotted. That's the one you want to do special work. He did it. The way we understand it is that he's the only one. There's no one else, you know? And it's just like putting so much on one person. Like Masha, you in the wilderness. You're Masha. You're the only one. You're like, no, you need some help, boy. You need to set up some people, some leaders to help you govern these people. So it's not just that you're the only one. You're just the first one that's standing up there. Then you get people to help you. And that's what it means first, really. So at least one wife. The fact that it says one and then the fact that it says first, it also says each and every. So it could be every. Now there's an ordinal number here. The ordinal number is 11. So when you're talking numerically, at the maximum level, Achad is 11 as in a unit. One Achad unit is 11. The least would be one, right? Because you only have one wife. You start off with one wife, and then at the max, Achad is 11. All right? There's a reason for that. So all of the definitions here for Achad, H259, if we put them all together, it does make better sense to say a bishop then must be blameless, the husband of at least one wife. All right, at least. And that wouldn't be a interjection. That would be a proper understanding of that, a proper scribe of that. At least. All right, one wife first. And then govern your house well, and then you can govern the other women of the assembly, who you also have to cover. You know, and then the bigger you get, the more women you have to help you govern. So that ordinal number depends on how big the situation is. If you're a man that your situation is small, or you're just a random man that's not a gamwan or a gamon, and you're okay with just being monogamous, one wife, that's fine too. It's not a sin to be monogamous either. It's not a sin to have more than one wife either. But you have to be the type of gamun that's described here, blameless, okay, vigilant, sober, of good behavior, given to hospitality, apt to teach, not given to wine. You can drink wine, but you can't be a drunkard, because you have to drink you drink the wine on Shabbat. Okay, that's part of the custom of Shabbat. When you bring it in on evening, you do the Pre-Hagefen prayer, and Pre-Hagefen is the fruit of the vine, or you can say Yayan, which is wine. All right, you can drink Yayan, but you still do the prayer. Pre-Hagefen, it's the fruit of the vine. You sip on it, but you don't just get drunk and you staggering on Shabbat. You're not a striker, okay? You're balanced, to be humble and weak. So when people come to you with questions, or they have difficulties understanding what you're saying, you're not sitting up there like you're supposed to know everything, or they're supposed to just shut up and not ask you questions, because you're flowing so hard. Somebody hit you with a question and just stop your whole flow, and you just got stuck, and you can't answer that question. So then people become strikers because they feel like they're being challenged or you learn from someone else. Just answer the question. Stop worrying about how the question came. When you always on defense or you have lies under your belt or you be deceiving people sometimes, you get contentious when people come to you with questions that you can't answer. So then you become strikers. You get very, very aggressive. Your position get challenged and you start feeling like, it get crazy. So you become strikers, whether with words or whether physically or whether trying to murder somebody like Joey Morgan. You feel challenged. So you don't want to feel challenged. You the guy. And then when you feel challenged, you lose your power or your power is being threatened and you become a striker, you know? Instead of be humble, like, that's a good question, sis. I'm going to look for that. I don't know everything. I'm going to look that up. Actually, can you help me look that up? That could be an assignment. You trust the people in your assembly. They look that up for you. They get it to you. You know what I'm saying? Then you got it. Thank you, sister so-and-so. Congratulate her. Give her awards and rewards and stuff for finding it for you. You not know. And then you add to what she found. It still could be you know more than her. She just knew this one thing you didn't know and it added to you. So now you can expound, edify whatever it was that she added to you. You know, right? Like my ex-wife with the flat earth. I didn't know anything about a flat earth. She said something to me about it, then I added to it. Oh, that makes sense because this scripture and that scripture and this scripture, stuff she didn't even understand. I start putting two and two together. So it added to her by me being humble to listen to her and then giving it back to her. I fed her back more than what she gave me. Even in real life, before I married my wife, she spent her last $85 to help me get my license, my driver's license from being suspended so I can get the job at Comcast Cable. And when she spent that $85, gave her the best marriage she ever had. She never had to work. Bought her own car. We wasn't on food stamps. She had everything that she needed. She was always in comfort. $85 gave her the most comfortable life she ever had. People started getting jealous and hating on her. And she took a chance. That one $85 chance gave her the most comfortable life she ever had. We had a nice spot. You know what I'm saying? I just got injured. So, now you got to show your faithfulness now. I gave you comfort for a whole year. The most I was like, now I want to see if you can hang on. She couldn't hang on. Whatever the case, that's what it be like. Anyway, so you're not a striker. You speak well, you govern well, you don't yell, you make sense, things like that. Not greedy or filthy, not greedy of filthy lucre. You need money, but you don't run everything on money. You'll take the low ball, take the low road sometimes. Let people, you don't operate on money. Taxes belong to taxes, not you. But patient, not a brawler, not covetous. You don't enviously desire anything that belongs to someone else. One that governs well his own house, having his children in subjection with all gravity. All right? You're well balanced. You're soft and strong, perfectly in balance. So you can guide and lead the people and shine for the people. All right. So that's what that would mean as to say what a gamun, the example of a gamun is. All right. What he does, what his gathering position is, and what that looks like. All right. And so again, achad or achat just means altogether at least one wife. All right, now let's say everything gets big, right? And you need, you already have your wife, and you grow a bigger congregation. You can get more wives to add to that unit. Okay, yes, because that ordinal number is 11. At the most 11, at the least one. You don't need more than one wife. Is you don't have much to tend to and stuff like that. You're good and content, but you get more with more, right? So let's take it back to where I'm going at. Isaiah. Yeshaya. See. 11. 2. All right, Isaiah chapter 11 verse 2. And this is giving us close to that ordinal number. So when you say the Most High, or if you say the Shema, Yisrael, the Most High Elohim, the Most High is Achad. Okay? I'm kind of in an unclean spot right now, so I said the Most High instead of his name. All right, so, and the spirit of the Most High Yah will rest upon him. All right, that's the first spirit you see, the spirit of Yah. 1, will rest upon him. The spirit of chokmah, wisdom, that's 2. The spirit of understanding or discernment, bina, that's 3. The spirit of counsel, 4. I forgot what that one is. And might, chazak, 6. 5. The spirit of knowledge, da'at, that's 6. And of the fear of Yahweh, all right, which is interchangeable with red and pink, fear and respect, and that's 7. That's 7 spirits. Spirit of the Lord, 1. Spirit of wisdom, 2. Understanding, 3. Counsel, 4. Might, 5. Knowledge, 6. Fear, 7. All right. So, fear and respect, interchangeable, red and pink. So that's one rainbow. They are actually colored. I do know that Yara is red and pink. And Chokmah is the spirit of truth, basically. So truth comes with wisdom, that's blue. So it's like that. So these are the different colors. They are also the different foundations of the 7 heavens. All right. And that ordinal number, Achad, is 11. So there are 3 other heavens above 7 that is not connected to this universal system, or the 7 universal heavens, or whatever the case. It has nothing to do with it. It's like separate, like creation stations. They make existences and stuff, and they make universes from there. So that's 7 plus 3, 8, 9, 10. And then the Most High would be 11. All right. So these things are too far for us to like reach. So we don't know about it, or we don't really feel them. What we do feel is the 7, if we are allowed to even feel even above 3. Heaven 3. Some people can't even feel heaven 3. So you talking about 7, 8, 9, 10. At heaven 7 is like heaven 1 and 2. Heaven 7 and 8 is like heavens 1 and 2. That's how you understand it. You can't reach heaven 2. You see it though. It's disconnected yet connected, but you don't feel anything out there. So in the same way, 7 is connected to 8. But if you're not in 7, you wouldn't even know that there's an 8, because it's disconnected yet connected. You see it, but it's not there. So it's like putting those little sticky stars, those like glow in the dark sticky things that you put on the ceiling, and they look like stars and stuff. And then you put a pot in your room, and then you put a glass pot on top, and then boil some water. If you was the boiling water, you looking through the glass pot, you see stars and stuff on the ceiling. But it's a glass pot there, that you can't get outside the glass pot. So it's like that. It's dark, so you can't see the glass pot. But when the lights come on, you barely can see the glass pot still, because it's so bright you can't see the glass. It's so squeaky clean, no smears, no smudges. It's a firmament there. So if you take that pot off, you're going to be exposed to the atmosphere that is outside of that pot. So I tried my best to like keep from distraction. I'm gonna come back. Give me a second. All right, back to what I was saying, but I kind of forgot where I left off at. But my point was, achad. All right, it's understood as one unit. All right, and it always starts off as 1. Okay, it's like you have a body, right? And what's that little thing, that little toy where like it gets smaller and smaller, and you can put it inside of each other and stuff like that. I forgot what they call that thing, but it's like that. You can either put them all inside of each other and secure it, or you can take them all outside of each other and they stand together. That's what achath means, okay, or achad rather. But achath starts off as 1, but it can grow to 11, the ordinal number 11. So either all of these units are within you in one body part, like a Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Megazord, or you're without and you stand together. Still, you are one unit and you work together. Okay, like the rainbow. You never say rainbows. There's one rainbows outside. What? There's only one rainbow. You arguing a person to death. It's only one rainbows, but it's only just one rainbow. 7 powers to that rainbow. Each color together makes that one rainbow. Otherwise, we would never say it's a rainbow. It's like, yo, that's like an arc, like a green arc or something like that. You would say something else. You wouldn't say it's a rainbow. So that's how the Most High is understood, and how oneness is understood in the Torah is never understood as you're just alone or just one person. It just can start that way. Okay, so you must at least be the husband of at least one wife. You must be the husband of at least one wife. All right, and then it grows. And these are the components of the rainbow, of the rainbow right here, Isaiah chapter 11 verse 2. All right, Spirit of the Lord, 1. Spirit of wisdom, 2. Understanding, 3. Counsel, 4. Might, 5. Knowledge, 6. Fear, 7, which is interchangeable with respect. So red and pink. So these together are the rainbow. All right. And like I said, the 3 heavens that are above heaven 7, 8, 9, and 10 are like the creation stations. 8 is where I come from. Then I came down to 7. And then from 7, which is the biochemical soup, where all of the chemicals that exist in existence come down and then you cut from it at the Walmart, heaven 5, and then you make galaxies and stuff like that from the stuff you buy at Walmart, the chemicals. But it all comes from originally heaven 7, the people that live there. It's like you took a poop and then the poop went and then you used it for dung to smear on the ground and then you can get more grass. It's like a cycle process, and yeah, it could be nasty, but it's not really when you're lower, like ants, they eat stuff that we chewed up and stuff like that. They really don't eat whole food and stuff like that. So stuff like that, they don't look at it the same. Flies, they won't poop all day, but you not won't be on poop like a fly, things like that, processes. Um, so it's like that, and then you get to heaven 3, from heaven 7 to heaven 3, and then heaven 3 is where the angels be at that govern earth and things like that. There's certain kinds of places, galaxies and stuff like that. They govern it in the constellations and stuff. But the war popped off. So, that's the last place I have memories at. Is heaven 3, Jerusalem. And after that, I do know I come from heaven 8. Went to heaven 7 for a second. Blue-eyed people, no matter the shade of blue, aqua blue, deep blue, baby blue, whatever kind of blue you got, even silver. The blue shade lets us know what kind of chemical, but which aqua race you come from. Now, blue-eyed people are the pure fresh water. They are the spirits of truth that comes from heaven 7. They run the whole heaven 7, which are the aqua race. They spirits of truth. But heaven 8, if you come from heaven 8, 9, and 10, you are the creators, the family of creators, and heaven 8 is where the children live. 9 is where the mothers are. The fathers are on 10. And then the Most High Father himself is on 1. The Most High Father and the Most High Mother, they're on heaven 11, as you want to say. It's like there is no 11. It's just them. So you would just say 10 heavens, and then them themselves are separate from the whole existence. Within them is a whole other world, realm, things you can't fathom. It's, too far to explain, or too deep to explain. So that's how it's understood. So that ordinal number of Ahad is 11. All right. So 10 heavens plus the Most High Father and the Most High Mother is that 11th portion. That is, it exits existence. It exits like the exit to creation and existence altogether. The whole existence that was made, you exit it, which is going into 11. So it's understood from the Most High that when you are in a position of leadership, yes, it can start as one woman. All right. But the husband of at least one wife, man. That's how it starts. And then you grow. As you grow, you grow. And you do need the women to help with the governing work for the disciples, the children and women. You have someone that's 12, 13, they literally need help. There's a male child. The women can do that stuff. The men that come in grown and stuff like that, they be disciples and stuff. They deal with the men. The women don't have to really deal with them or teach them, but the men do that. It depends on the special case. And then you can start doing special cases and stuff, knowing the order of things. But you put people in the brackets of their closeness to the Most High, what they know of the Most High, and their heart towards the Most High. Then you rank them and stuff like that. But initially, in a perfect setting, yeah, the women deal with the children and the women until they get of the age of the mitzvah, bat mitzvah. The women still deal with the women, but the male children go up to the men and then learn of the men, and then they get in positions if they do well. It's just the more people you have, the more women that you start to have. So at least one wife, man. That's how it starts. The first. You're the first wife, the first lady, but then you get more, okay, to help you govern. So understand that, please. That is according to the Torah. Nowhere in the Torah is it frowned upon to have more than one wife. And this is the Brit Hadasha. It's not a New Testament Okay, Masha, he broke the tablets of stone because he was mad at the children of Israel. Okay, but it was the same exact commandments that he made on a new table of stones. It's a new table of stones with the same commandments. Nothing new, really. Just a new table of stones. Okay? All right, so it's the same thing here. You know, this phone I got in my hand, it's a crystal ball. Nothing, it's a new type of the crystal ball, but it's the same Torah that I'm reading. It's just still a crystal ball, though. Isn't it saying? It's like, it's crystal ball, look into my crystal ball. That's all y'all doing, looking into my crystal ball. LCD, liquid crystal device, my crystal ball, you know. But it's like, yo, um, that's all it really is, you know. Understanding the Hebrew culture of things, how things start, how things progress. It's not really frowning upon altogether a man having more than one wife. It's not really commanding a man to have only one wife. It's just saying you have to start off with one and do good with that one family that you have before you can handle a whole assembly. Because our church, they have families, and a lot of these people be having all kinds of mess they dealing with. The men be having wives and stuff. You gotta, if you want to govern a man with a wife, you gotta have be able to govern your own family first, you know. So with that said, I think that's enough. I'm gonna let it go, y'all. Shabbat shalom, mishpacha, by Yisrael wa Yishraya, Nakwa Yishraya, signing out.